tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make good buttons for your Scratch games. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to costumes, and let me show you this awful button I've created. First of all, we can see that it's obviously misspelled. This is not how you spell play. It's spelled P-L-A-Y. And second of all, the color, red and blue don't mix together. And neither does blue and black. Blue and black mix together, but not when it is using a pen. So I'm going to make a new costume and call it Good Button. And I'm going to show you how to make a great button. So I'm going to be choosing the color green, a dark green, so I can make the text light. And I'm going to make a rectangle or a square. A square is good. And then instead of writing the word play, I'm going to make a triangle. So it looks like this is the play button that you get on YouTube and other platforms. Like that. This is already looking like a good button. But don't buttons that you see in other Scratch games always have curved corners? Let me show you how to do that. First, go to one of the corners. Pick two sides on either side, so it looks like this. And then double tap on the corner point. And boom, you have a curved corner. Do that for all the corners. And make sure they're the same, or else they won't look good. Oops. This is already looking like a good button. So let's make this triangle curved as well. You can just do the same tactic with the square, because this is just a triangle. A triangle is the same as a square, just cut in half. Okay, this is good enough. Put that right there. And then we're gonna center it to the middle. Okay, so this looks like a play button. Let me just set it to 150. Make it a nice size so people actually notice it. See how much we've improved from this button? This button is just downright horrible. And this button is a decent button with curved corners and nice architecture. So let's code it. So when green flag is clicked, forever, make a new block, call it button. You don't have to make one, but I just like making one because it's more organized instead of just a forever loop, which lags your game a little bit. So you're going to make go into motion, drag in a change Y by, go to operators, drag in an absolute value off and change it to sin, and then drag in a multiply, put it in the sign off, and then drag in the block timer and then multiply it by 300. So what this is doing, it is basically changing the Y by the timer, the sin of the timer multiplied by 300, which is creating a curve wave that this will follow. So if I go into backdrop, drag in a pen tool, make it black, and draw curve waves, which look like this. Technically what this is doing is it's going forward. You can't see it, but what we're making it do is we're not making it go forward, but we're making it go up and down according to the curve waves. That's what sine does. So I'm just going to delete this. And it makes it look nice. So now we're also going to make it so that if we touch it, it'll wiggle around and change its size. So first, drag in an if-else block, and then go into sensing, drag in a touching mouse pointer block, drag in a point in direction block, take this code, the sign of timer times 300, and change it to sign of timer times 500. And then else you put 0. And then drag in a change size, change size, take a minus and take a divide, put the minus on the left side, and then put in the biggest size you want. So I'll make it go 160 minus size, drag in a size block and put it in the middle, and then divide it by 5. Duplicate that, and then change the bottom one to the regular size. This is just the else block, which makes it go back to normal. And as you can see on the screen, it doesn't look normal anymore because it's pointing. It wants you to point it in a direction which is 0. So we want to make it look normal. So point it up and then flip it sideways. Oops. And then flip it vertically. And then that's how you do it. And then let's see. See? It's nice and wiggly and it smooths into the shape. So let me explain what I just did. When I put in the point in direction sign of timer times 500, it's doing the same thing as I explained with curved lines. And it is wiggling to those curved lines instead of changing its Y position. If we did change X, let me show you what happens if we did change X. If we did change X by this algorithm, it would make it change its X position like that and smooth side to side. If we put both, it'll do like that. It'll smooth to the side and up. But we only need to change Y because we only want to change its Y position. And for the size, what we're doing is we're taking the bigger size, we're taking away its older size, and we're dividing it by 5, which makes it smooth into that size. So let me show you this again. If I make it bigger, let's say 210 and 200, we can see this up close. See, it wiggles to the side and it changes its size. We can also make this to 220 so it's more noticeable, and it wiggles to the side as well. So that is how you make good buttons with good code. Like I said, good buttons will attract more players towards its aestheticness and its physics. So if you make bad buttons like this, then I feel sorry for you. But you just watched the tutorial on how to make good buttons. So you should be a button making prodigy now. See? This button doesn't do anything. So now that I've shown you how to make good buttons, now you can learn how to implement these into your games. So let me do it that when this sprite is clicked, it will broadcast a message. Let's call it start. If you add a button, you should at least make it so that if it's clicked, it'll broadcast a message or set a variable to something so that another sprite can pick it up. Let's make another sprite and call it U1 for an unknown reason, because you press the button. And then when green flag is clicked, you're going to set ghost effect to 100, and then when I receive when I receive start, you're going to change ghost effect by 20, negative 20, so it becomes brighter, and then you're going to repeat this 5 times because 5 times 20 is 100 and we want it to be negative 100. So wait, I'm going to put the button at 0, 0. That's the coordinate. Okay, now let's try it again. See, it shows. And then you're going to also make it that when I receive start, it's going to hide and call this win. And instead of 5, do 10 and change it by negative 10 so it's slower. And then you're also going to make this go to 0, 0. Okay, let's try it again. See, it works and it looks nice. So thank you guys for watching. If you learned something, please comment down below, and if you use these in your games, please credit me. If you don't want to, that is fine, but I do appreciate if you do. So thanks for watching. Bye.